China is really topical right now, mainly coming from all the headlines we're seeing having to do with trade conflicts with the United States and potential implications for a slowdown in global growth. But we think it's really important not to just look at China as a whole, but to look at subsectors within China to figure out where the risks and opportunities really lie. So for basics, we like to split up China between old China and new China. So old China, this economy is dominated by state-owned enterprises and heavy industries, whether that be machinery, coal, materials, and manufacturing, and really what used to be the main driver of economic growth in China, but that has contracted significantly down to roughly 40% of China's GDP. Now, on the other hand, what's growing and what's really getting us excited is the new China. So, new China is supported by internet, clean energy, healthcare, education, financial inclusion, and really innovative companies and management teams focused on middle class consumption. And that has expanded to more than half of China's GDP. So, it's already made that cross. And it's also created an opportunity that allows stock pickers to find consumer service led growth opportunities driven by secular tailwinds. In addition, it's also creating this new middle class. So we're seeing new industries create middle class expansion. Employment in the service sector now accounts for roughly one half of total employment in China, and that's really significant because these wages are higher. We're seeing urban wages in China growing at double digits, so more than 10%. And by 2025, we see the middle class in China to most likely double the entire population of the entire United States. So it's not just looking at middle class to middle class. We're talking about the middle class in China doubling the entire population of the United States. And that's driving more Chinese consumer-driven growth. So the new Chinese consumer has been growing up in a period of rapid improvements to their quality of life, higher standards of living, and really different spending patterns. And that creates new sectors and new opportunities for stock picking. So starting out with e-commerce. China's the world's largest e-commerce market. Over 50% of global retail sales come from China. And these platforms aren't just about shopping. They're boosted and supported by payment platforms, video games, social media networks, and that creates a network effect to create a very sticky customer. In addition to that, I mean, you can go from everywhere to shopping to education. And education, we're looking at companies that are taking advantage of economies of scale by implementing technology to implement remote learning platforms to drive higher volume and more margin expansion. And even tourism. Tourism is very interesting with what's going on right now. In the past 5 years, the amount of Chinese citizens with passports has doubled, yet we're still coming from a really low base. Only 15% of citizens in China have a passport. So people aren't just shopping for physical goods, they're looking for experiences as well, and we continue to see that being a main driver of growth in the tourism industry, which is one of various industries that we continue to see having a long runway of growth going forward.